Hi everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I actually have two Divine Masculine Twin Flame reads for you today, but the first one I don't have out for you. I will post the main basic read on the tag for that one, and then the other one I'll show you when I get to it. So I thought I'd show you this beautiful painting so you could whisk away for a bit. This is, I'm going to show you the painter. Okay, so that's his information if you're interested. Okay, it's very beautiful, as you can see, and I loved it because it has like the two little angels there in the middle, so I figured you guys would like that too. So I'm going to get right into the first read for the masculine. Excuse me if I move around a little bit. Okay, so today is July 14th, and I'm sorry if I'm out of breath. I was just out jogging. And a little bit winded today anyway, a little hard to get the air in your lungs today. It is the 14th, which is the Temperance card, which is all about patience and balance. The day adds up to 33, 6, but it's also the 7 of Wands, which is standing up for yourself without getting defensive. The 33 is the Christ vibration. It's also a 6 of love, family, community. Also the Lover's card, the basic 6. And 14, of course, is a 7. Or excuse me, it's a 5, which is expansion, change, conflict, competition, all of those kinds of energies today. So having patience, having your patience tested today. And it is Sunday. It was a beautiful sunny day here. The first read was done at 8:51 this morning, and 51 came up again. Actually, I woke up at 7:51. The read was finished at 8:51. Or excuse me, the main read was cut at 8:51, and I finished the read at 9:09 to 9:10, which is the Hermit and the Wheel of Fortune. 51 is the King of Swords, so there was two 51s already when I got into the read. And very much about the King of Swords today. As a matter of fact, the second read ends on the King of Swords with the clarifiers. So I was feeling a little bit stressed today, nothing specific, but some stress, some anxiety coming up this morning. The major arcana for the Divine Masculine. Oh, and by the way, I saw when I went to do my juice this morning, there was that red cardinal was out back, but today he had a girlfriend with him. She wasn't quite as pretty as he was, but they were both out there frolicking together, and I saw one white butterfly out front and a dragonfly as well, and of course the sun was beautiful. So the major arcana for the first read was karma. They were karma, higher self, and guidance. Before the read, transition was also there. And transition is like the death card, karma, the judgment card, higher self like the high priestess, and guidance is like the Hierophant card. So there were 2 wands, 1 pentacle, 2 cups, and 3 swords. So it was a little swordy today, too much in their heads probably, but not totally out of balance there. The court cards were Knight of Swords, Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords, and after the read that I use in the read as well were the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Wands. I've been going 3 cards before and 3 cards after. I was guided to do that at some point because I used to pull just the 1 card underneath, but I've been pulling the 3, so there's a lot of court cards here. Knight of Swords, Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords, Queen of Pentacles and King of Wands after, and then the Knight of Wands prior to the read. And 7/7 came up at the end of the read. On the, I have it written on the Queen of Swords, but 7/7 was definitely themed because there were 2 7s in the read. 7/7 came up, and the code line was 7. So 7 was big today, and the code line was all about intuition and music. The message here was about separation, adding separation and heartbreak, or that could be after death of the separation and heartbreak. The Queen of Sea, or which is the Queen, that could be Cleopatra came up for me before, the Queen of the Sea, the Queen of the Nile, the Queen of the Night. But all of those energies were coming up along with karma, but also cars and mothers, the Divine Feminine, and the God, the eye of the feminine and the Christ. So the Christ, Sophia, but coming up more as the shadow side of the feminine. and it was all about intuition and music. So it was all about the divine feminine being able to see using their intuition, and the masculine also being able to do this. After death, expansion of the feminine within the masculine, the queen of the night or queen of the Nile, the energy, an arm or a sieve, a filter like the GI tract, filtering out, transmuting the energies, because you see, I see. Aiding commitment of the feminine within the masculine, that queen of the night. Music is like a snake charmer. It calms the beast. So using music to your advantage. After the death, the divine feminine is like IV forward momentum, the chariot of the queen of it can be the queen of Christ even as well. So it's the divine masculine's queen. Her inside of him is like IV forward momentum, the ability to have intuition and to integrate things. Also karma, cars and mothers, and dealing with those things using his intuition, his feminine side, which is channeled through him by his higher self, his feminine, is a tool of transmutation in helping him to see better and using his intuition and music to help calm the beast. So getting right into that read, 27 came up. The numbers for that line were, besides the 7, 5 and 12. 12 is the hangman. 77, like I said, came up, which is the 9 of Pentacles, the sovereign who has everything they need. The sequence 5, 6, 7, 8 came up, as well as 12 again. 25 is the Knight of Wands. 78, the 10 of Pentacles. And 27, the Ace of Wands, but then 27 came up again at the beginning of the read. So that's a lot of passion, new passion. Rising from drama that's still burning, not ashes yet, still fire, to tango and twist, allow the fringed edges, Middle Eastern flair, belly dancers, Middle East restaurant. And that took me way back. Stuck in emotions about offer of money or new life. In near-death experience, being burned at the stake, the masculine may also be having these things, these past life events coming up for them. I definitely had that experience when I was in the south of France on a Mary Magdalene retreat. I literally was in the meditation in the Mary Magdalene cave, and I felt like was being taken back, like in an instant, back to being burned at the stake and then thrown off the cliff there. So that was pretty intense. Thank goodness it only lasted for a moment, but... So this is coming up for the masculine today. Burned at the stake. Barbecue also comes up, as well as Middle East. Drama queen, snapping fingers, expecting her way and attention immediately. All right, so all the drama queens, like the Queen of the Nile, the Queen of the Night. And that comes up with Whitney Houston also because of the movie, The Bodyguard. So bodyguards are also coming up. A dancer, ballet, gymnast, actor, magician's assistant. Could be spoiled child as well. Taught to get everything they want because someone never said no. They were never said no to. The Knight of Wands transition portal over the grief, loss, regret, and guilt, but can't take the heat. Burning feet. A whiner, complainer. Why is everyone always ganging up on me? Offered a new life, but unwilling to change. Never nearing the ends. That's from Knights in White Satin. And never finishing what they start. Needing some friction to burn off the debris. Lighting a fire under their ass. Over the emotions, but stuck in the practical things. Low-balling ahead. Going back to let the horse out of the gate just one more time, but they're still resisting. The Queen of Wands reversed, which is also coming up with the Page of Cups reversed, which is that spoiled brat energy. Saying no, drama queen. Hermit sheds light on the new growth and passion that he sees from the sealed divine feminine. The completion coming full circle with all the crap blocked out, the bulls and lions. Watched over by Michael and Thoth. The divine masculine clearly seeing the difference between the drama queen and the sealed divine feminine, marching to the beat of their own drum, producing out of thin air. The tail end, retirement, showing the way to see how it's done, floating in another dimension unaffected by the 3D world. Standing on top of the world, on the edge, a profound legacy created, sitting on the edge of the Grand Canyon versus Mount Rushmore. Do you want to Rushmore or do you want to retire in flair? retirement or growth, and why not both? Twinkle toes. As I turn the page, it's 9:59, and 9 is the Hermit, 59 is the Five of Swords. It's that war within is also the war without. So twinkle toes, toggling up, coming together at work, a noble effort of dreams, synchronicities, options, radiation inspired by one that radiates the unexpected. Out in the cold, on crutches, bare feet in the snow, inspired to find warmth, a hot toddy with third-party tamale, spicy sort, taking challenges and being left out of the group, the crowd, societal norms, and instead of drinking, over-socializing with gossips or gossipers, going within to become inspired and break new ground, groundbreaking, new discoveries with 5-star accommodations. They're twins, 2 of a kind, and that was bringing up the Patty Duke Show, which I don't know how I remembered that. I would never have remembered that on my own. The song was like, they're 2 of a kind. I can't remember all the words. But they were identical cousins, but had opposite personalities. The Patty Duke Show was on from September 18th, which is my birthday, 1963, to April 27th, 1966. And she was born 12/14/46 to her death was March 29th, just 2016, not too long ago. She played Helen Keller in The Miracle Worker, but her real life, was a difficult one. She had difficulties as a child. Before I go into some of that, I wanted to tell you that George of the Jungle also came up. George of the Jungle, made for you and me. All right, so that was coming up as U-M-E. Like people always say, don't make an ass out of you and me for assume. That was coming up. Also, I was noticing in these date of births and deaths, I'm noticing in bringing these things up, people who are born around the same time as me, when their success periods are, like when they start things, when they start a successful show, like she started on September 18th, and then finished in the spring. You see the trend there? Well, her childhood, she had a father who's an alcoholic and a mother who was depressed, a victim of violence. This is from Wikipedia. Diagnosed bipolar, 1982. And she wrote a book about it as well. She was molested by her manager, who gave her alcohol, drugs, and cheated her with unreasonably high fees, according to the information there. She was the president of the Screen Actors Guild, 1985 to 88. She was married 4 times. And then we get back into the read. So that was coming up for a reason, so take it as it comes. If it doesn't mean anything to you, that's fine as well. Trust came up in the Romance Angel cards, as well as beneath that was forgiving and learning. And trust is all about faith. So the old man Hierophant, with a female pet, dazed as 2 swans fly away, putting a dad in a facility to be freed. 1 child may be catering to that father, and 2 now freed by putting him in a nursing facility or a home. And he's coming up as wearing a knitted birthday cap, so someone might have just had a birthday celebration at the facility after moving him there. A scruffy beard, quite a surprise or shock. Divine Masculine left karmic and her father behind, dropping burdens of Emperor with trophy wife, or him and another person other than his wife. So some of the masculines, they may be with a wife, and some were with a wife, but now they're with a girlfriend because they're already divorced, or still married and now be with someone else. It just depends on what your situation is. But it was coming up with the Emperor and a trophy wife, to freedom for the masculine, walking a fine line, though, with a snake following closely. No more spoon feeding or origamis galore, or bored out of his mind in a marble throne. Getting caught with their pants down, the frog left with his own warts to work on, to freeze or burn off, transmute, always missing out on all the fun. Now Prince Charming in search of his princess, no more following his parents' rules, especially not the karmics. So spiritual career comes up for the masculine, which is number 78. And beneath that was number 66, healing. 78 is the 10 of Pentacles, so the family, and that very much was a part of both reads. And then 66 is the Queen of Pentacles. So Viking ship set sail for California, perhaps, 3-hour or 4-year tour. The Divine Masculine sent them on their way to start over in love. Wounded warrior dumped Page of Swords reversed and Queen of Pentacles reversed, someone who kept telling him how much they were worth but never followed through. Someone with inflated worth, an ego, prima donna, who lies and is greedy or a bad student of business or just can't get over or past themselves. Their royal lineage or just mouthy, loud, spying, bipolar, mentally off, and Divine Masculine deeply wounded by all the lies. Karmic left, or karmic and one child who's like her, to start over somewhere else and take their chopsticks and Chinese green silks with her. Her ego may have taken a hit here. Her ship no longer coming in. A candy striper, or actually it wrote down candy stripper, so both of those coming up, with mental issues or disease, or a child needs to be institutionalized, and the masculine may feel like a snake in the grass doing that. It could be an adult also acting like a child due to their old age, or a kid making him feel guilty, like fungus, like pond scum. And that always reminds me of my best friend's girlfriend. Ladybug with ivy, or ladybug on ivy, or vines by lots of mushrooms seen. A whisper in his ear, or letting go of things bad for him, like candy, shrooms, peyote came up, grapevine, which is the gossip, and then alcohol for ladybug, Robin Hood on crack, reenactments and jumping from planes, that silly cap like a bullet. What a long, strange trip it's been. From spoiled, sneaky child who talks too much to Robin Hood martyr and back to Batcave at night. But mostly he dumped the Holy Grail. His biggest regret, he should have listened to the squirrels and birds, but was certain he knew more than them. Elitist. The mask of the boy with hurt feelings. I'll show them. But now his ship has sailed, starting over, not caring what others say or do, projecting onto you. He's going to complete what he started and turn Divine Feminine's world back around, trusting, taking a leap of faith to a spiritual career. So recently for the masculine, let me get that. I'm sitting on my phone. So recently for the masculine, something not working, injustice, defenseless to crowd, and energies coming in, Divine Masculine without affection in his life, or without the twins' effect, or the twin without affection in their life, or the Divine Masculine without the twins' affection in his life. Drama queen out of here. Enough chances given, now done. Inspired from being put apart from the crowd, the social scene, not being social, third party changed his world. Some divorcing or settling out to be with twin, recognizing what's not working for them. The foundation is the Knight of Orbs, holding tongue or an announcement, giving up the battle or the deception, surrendering to the early morning hours. And then I was getting Delta Dawn. So the definition of Delta was coming up because it has many meanings. Delta, so getting up at dawn as well was coming up here as it's a very freeing time to surrender. When you're so tired and you've been up all night, you can't sleep, to just allow that, because sometimes you're meant not to sleep, so you'll let go of your brain. Delta is the area from Memphis to Vicksburg, Mississippi, that area. It's an important cotton-producing region and home of the earliest blues music. And that's important because the cotton, in one of my cards that comes up now and then about the slaves and the slave owners, the plantation owners, and the cotton fields specifically comes up in one of my decks. 2, it's the 4th letter of the Greek alphabet, Delta. It's also an object shaped like a triangle, the deposit at the mouth of the river, or tidal inlet. It's also in math a finite increment in a variable or a standard. Also the 4th position in carbon atom in organic molecule, at which an atom or group may be substituted. And also it was making me think of just having worked in research, randomizing in fours, because the 4 is also coming up. Celestial, the 4th brightest star in the constellation, is Delta. Also the launch vehicles are called Delta for the unmanned satellites. And then another meaning for Delta is literally communication. It's code D for Delta. That's communication, really important one, so don't forget that one. And then the last one was this estate in Nigeria on the Niger River Delta in the Gulf of Guinea. So with the inlets, it has to do with the deposit into the still water coming from the river or the seas or going back out to them. It's pooling, and this was at 11:19, which is justice in the sun. Pooling, deposit, and also placebo was coming up, allowing the swords to fall out of your back. The pleasure that comes from releasing the pain of stopping something as opposed to doing something to fix it, all right? So releasing and allowing as opposed to making something happen, okay? Not controlling, allowing and releasing. And right at that time, too, a heavy truck rushed north. Things correct all by themselves when you let go, like magic, in the early morning hours, Delta Dawn. Before awakening, before reckoning, reconciling differences, sleepless nights, sleepless in Seattle. And as I turned the page, it was 11:27. 11 is justice, and 27 is the Ace of Wands again. And just the underlying energies here from this read were Scorpio reversed. All that were reversed were Scorpio, Gemini, Libra, Cancer, and Virgo. And then upright were Pisces, Aries, and Taurus. That was just the underlying energies. So then centrally for the masculine, and this stuff that comes up here was from the Free Dictionary, there's an outpouring of new love. Literally, the Ace of Cups was 3 times, 3 different decks, all in the same place, right in the center of the read. Outpouring of new love, present to self, coming clean without squeaking, like not squeaky clean, but coming clean without squeaking, holding their tongue. And then I was getting screech from that, which I watched Thatcher last night. So Thatcher was coming up. And Thatcher, that is our plant stalks or foliage used for roofing. And then roofies were coming up again. So be careful, guys, out there, that someone doesn't roofie you. Thick growth of hair on your head, like dead turf, as on a lawn, to cover with, or for me, I'm just saying as like astroturf or a hairpiece. So someone may be thinking of using false grass or a hairpiece to cover any baldness. And that, has to do with maybe just what they like to see in themselves, but it can be an insecurity or wound that needs to be let go of as well. A major new love times 3, like I said in the middle of this read, turning life around for the better, and the Ace of Cups was upright energy. The challenge being deliberation, vacillation, indecision, poor judgment, avoidance, in the aftermath of clarity, new information that came in about the Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles in that read came up upright and reversed. She was first upright she was first reversed in the underlying energy, but then in the read, on top of what the masculine saw himself as, she was upright. And that can be the karmic or the feminine, because I've been getting a lot the Queen of Pentacles as both lately. And like I said, they can be both, because there's 3 different signs, and you can both be the same sign as well. But I was also getting, you can figure it out for yourself. I'll let you know what it said. But there's new information that the masculine has received, whether it be about the karmic doing something underhanded, or whether it's about the feminine that he didn't know. Letting go to repair, or spending, walking away from to reap rewards with the Queen of Pentacles. Taking charge of his world, going left, the divine feminine side, grounding, using a grounding post, taking responsibility after the fact of turning her world upside down. New love with an olive branch and lilies, or rather blueberry branch and violets. patient angels without harsh words or being pushy. Remember, allow. The King of Wands listening to this new information in the aftermath of the weight of the world. Atlas's burden, slave labor, never over. Now crowning, after not using intuition, secrets out, ignorant to the outpouring of love, not to self and higher self, but to those who lied or were verbally abusive. So Master may be seeing how he's been giving an outpouring of love to all of these people who didn't deserve it, and not maybe to the one person who did. Now ending the war, released from prison, the King of Wands looks to insecurities, anger, frustrations, manipulations of magician reversed, childhood abuse, and starting over, better late than never, being recognized for what it's worth. Possibly an apology from the King of Wands to the Divine Masculine, or the Divine Masculine to the Divine Feminine or kids, ignorant or unaware of his role in all of this. Now with new information, no more anxiety, the secret's out, wanting to start over in love. And speaking about separation, Empress told the truth of ignorance and what she did to prove her muscle, her worth, to show the Divine Masculine she had other options, not just him, or her twisted kind of love. Or the Divine Feminine with synchronicities, squeezing juice and doing videos to survive, working out to feel better when disconnected from higher self to burn the past, to be patient and angelic, but loving self first, unable to find the words, express. The King of Wands behind him holding tongue with angel and synchronicities while screwing the King of Pentacles over to make money from them. The King of Pentacles superhero with hands-off policy, unable to find a way, a word, a letter, a poem, a song, to explain the long deliberation, the indecision, the bad decision, the poor judgment, with the Queen of Cups reversed, which can be either way. It can either be a Divine Feminine who's sad and purging, or it can be someone who's manipulating his every move. Could be a mother and daughter team, always waiting in the wings for him. Always keeping an eye and making sure he's doing what they want him to do. Or the King of Swords, third party, staying busy with passions, holding burdens of feeling his passion. Okay, so that could be the feminine too, feeling the masculine. So offering love as a detached third party, and as I turn the page, it's 1207. 12 is the Hangman, 7 is the Chariot. And again, just a reminder, this is for the Divine Masculine, but it can affect the Divine Feminine as well, because we all have the masculine and the feminine within. But also, if something doesn't resonate with you, don't make it fit to your life. Then it wasn't meant for you. We're speaking to many, many people here, okay? So there may be a detached third party just waiting in the wings for the masculine while he's giving his love to every other woman but her, which makes her very sad. And soon exposing downloads received and held and saved for the Divine Feminine. The Emperor and the Hermit reversed, watching the whole time. As things slowed down due to not passing them on, the Emperor caused his own block. Over isolating, becoming sick in his mind, the Emperor taking Hermit down, and his luck with it. Could have avoided all of it if had passed on the downloads that he received when he got them. And it's now he's thinking it's too late. The signs that were coming up around here were Libra, Virgo, and Scorpio reversed, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo upright. The Divine Masculine coming clean to the Divine Feminine about the blocks in his life, while floating 2 white orbs. Cotton balls, autocumulus and cirrus clouds, shady dealings in the cotton fields and slave owners, cotton picking, pulling wedgies out of your butt, brother, father, uncle, cousin, always treating him like the slave, the village idiot, teasing, abusing, making him the butt of every joke. In other words, the wedgie. Schooling the goose, being told to keep their trap shut. But no excuses, young child. Just do what you're told and shut up. The goose that laid the golden egg, the most valuable one for their family producing abilities, as the underworld crept into his life, paralyzed by threats and actual knives and or swords, verbal abuse, cutting, taking his car, his manhood, his only way forward, took away his power. Now, the patient angel, taking this guy and his big dick and telling him where he can put it in a very kind way. The Divine Masculine is coming up, seeing himself as the Queen of Cups. And the energy is reversed, so it could be him purging in the energy of the feminine, the devil out of control, chaos, or detoxing, taking the Queen of the Nile, the night, or the sea to rehab. So it definitely could be taking someone to get help. The Queen of Pentacles, married to chaos, blocking herself. The person going to rehab could be the masculine, it could be the karmic mother or child as well. Taurus, Cancer, Queen of Pentacles, or his car broke down, or someone had an accident, or a DUI or DWI, could be the karmic divine masculine or a female child. Someone needs detoxing and waving goodbye, or divine feminine was blocked by a marriage, contract, commitment of the divine masculine, stuck in there with the Queen of Cups reversed, Cancer, Taurus, and or Capricorn, or that's him. Cancer reversed, Capricorn reversed, and Taurus upright came up right here. Engagement came up here. Stay optimistic about your love life for the masculine. Romantic feelings, new love, and love yourself first for the masculine. Around him, or how he is seen, two flames, Excalibur, but not expressing their feelings back and forth about rejection and shyness or inability to show love, or being spoiled when they were young or now, used to getting whatever they want all the time. Happy family, storefront, between flames, sham, scam, illusion of happiness not expressed, or telling truth about whiner at home who never expresses what they really mean, pretending all the time that all is well. And that's 1236. 12 is the hangman, 36 is the 10 of wands, the burden. Carrying the weight of the world upon your shoulders and just doing too much work, hard labor. So as I turn the page, the masculine needs to clear blocks of marriage, commitments, religion, traditions, societal norms, not working in regards to sovereign or sovereignty. That the woman doesn't work, that he must get over himself and be happy with the hand that he is dealt. And then Delta Dawn came up again. Instead, each person should be happy with self, each really good at their own thing. It doesn't need to mean living separate lives. That the woman needs to create the comforts of being a housewife, and a man with emotional satisfaction of mastering his domain without showing his emotions. New passion and growth takes patience of an angel to right the wrongs and give it time to unfold. The blocks melt away, and time and luck always turn. And turn, and turn, and turn. So I was getting that as well coming up. Music comes up again, intuition, but even more so self-love. La creme de la creme. It's not about conceit or elitism. It's about doing what comes naturally because you love it, what inspires you to new heights. But that doesn't mean working to the bone. It means relaxing, enjoying your time here, and with those you love, those who accept you just as you are. The Queen of Swords reversed, not expressing, no quick back and forth movement or heated exchange, with the Knight of Cups offer of love, from the King of Swords reversed, and there's definitely a conceit or elitism block here. The King of Swords with feelings for someone else, third party, but not expressing to the Queen of Swords reversed, who may come off as arrogant or conceited, elitist. The Queen of Pentacles starting over in love at home, or in union, on journey of a three-world split, a six-way juncture, a spray of sorts, a Delta Dawn. So it's definitely getting like, with the spray and the split, it's like the Delta, because they describe the Delta as like a pooling in a triangle shape where three different, two or three different channels can go separate ways in order to get to the ocean or the sea. So here there's like two of them back to back, just like the valve of the vein that I always describe. The three channels to the sea, coming from still waters and choosing how you get to the turbulent waters with stuck emotions. Could be a boat overturned, capsized, or stuck on a rock. It's your choice. Overcome the challenge and you get to the open waters. You're free, leading the way through the rain, leading your way through the rain on a shaman journey within. Love reign on me. And vanity comes up here as well. The King of Swords, Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles go to a shaman, King of Wands, or King of Swords wants a three-way, or just a third party, but not telling the Queen of Swords reversed, just offering love to both, and then both of them, and breaking both of their hearts because he never said his truth. As the boat set sail that day for a 3-hour cruise, which then got stranded, capsized, or overturned with the King of Wands. So definitely somebody could definitely have a boat overturn or get stranded in a storm or something like that. It's been coming up multiple times. So you might want to delay going out to sea. But it also could be just someone leaving, you know, to take a ship to another country. But I was definitely getting someone maybe offering someone, like if a masculine can't get out of his marriage, he may be offering a relationship with the feminine, but he's still married, or maybe still living with the kids or whatever, or someone is actually offering a threesome for sure, or there's some underhanded stuff, like where I was getting someone like, and it can be a ploy on the karmic's part, so it could be the masculine's karmic, but it can be the feminine's karmic as well, where someone's pulling a ploy, like telling them what they want to hear to get them somewhere, to do something, maybe, you know, that roofie might be coming up here, so just be careful. If you go anywhere with someone, make sure it's someone you know and trust, all right? Don't just believe everything you hear, okay? And listen to your body and what it's telling you. The Queen of Wands reversed loses. It also could be something as simple as your Divine Masculine coming forward, which is real. So, you know, you guys have to discern. This is why you've come all this way, to learn your abilities and know your intuition, what your body's telling you at every moment. And if you're unsure, no one should be pushing you to make a decision ever. The Queen of Wands reversed loses a battle with the King of Pentacles reversed, or the King of Wands ends a battle between them with mediation. And I was getting the shaman. It can be the masculine, but it might be somebody else who, even though he's upright, I'm not quite comfortable that he is, you know, completely authentic. So be careful with that. You know, they may come off as, you know, really shaman-like, and they may be a shaman, but they might have, you know, they might have a dark side to them as well. So just be sure you know who you're dealing with. The Knight of Wands ends the battle between them with the mediation, okay. The Knight of Cups offering love by giving him his freedom to tame the beast on his own. So some of the karmics may be, like I said, allowing an open marriage, or finally letting the masculine go, because she's been, you know, they've been going through a divorce forever or something like that, and she's been putting him through hell, and is finally giving him love to give him his freedom. But she could just be allowing him to go have sex once to get it out of his system and come back. So make sure you ask questions. You know, if you want to know if your masculine comes forward, make sure you know if he's seeing someone else, okay? And that you're all clear, you both are on the same page. Allow the Knight of Cups to come together with Fool and Leo on top, allowing him his freedom, but coming home to her, or just letting each person do what they want, whatever makes them happy. A King of Wands and Queen of Wands reversed are mediated by, or a King of Wands and Queen of Wands reversed are mediated by a King of Pentacles reversed to have a three-way, like I said, or an open marriage, like him. So it may be someone who has an open marriage who's trying to convince the masculine to try the same, since he can't get out of his marriage, something like that. And that was at 1:10 p.m. today. That was the Magician and the Wheel of Fortune. And then as we turn the page, it's 1:11, which is the Justice and the Magician. So be careful whenever you're dealing with the Magician energy. Purging and breaking patterns, tripping up, dropping the facade, the Knight of Pentacles reversed, stubborn, lazy, obstinate, willful, not working, refusing to move, or just being still. Just being, which there's nothing wrong with that. All right, it's the old templates that tell us we can't be still, that call us lazy when we want to be still. The Queen of Swords reversed, disconnected, not seeing eye to eye with family or work, burdens, hard labor, for the dreams, or healing, or Aquarius, King of Swords reversed, okay? So someone realizing how hard the work is, maybe not wanting to do it anymore. The King of Swords and Queen of Swords, purging in a breakup with Aquarius, perhaps. Making that much money or dealing with family legacy is too much hard work. Well, that's coming up for them, the King and Queen of Swords. So it was weird because at the end of that first read, all three couples were there. Not the King and Queen of Swords were actually next to each other, and the King and Queen of Wands were not together. She was reversed. He was upright. And the King of Pentacles reversed, and the Queen of Pentacles was upright. But they were all around the end of the read, all three couples. So they're not only couples, but they can represent siblings as well. So however that fits for you. But the King and Queen of Swords were reversed. And like I said, the Queen of Wands was reversed, and the King of Wands was upright. And then the Pentacles, King was reversed, and the Queen was upright. The King and Queen of Cups were both reversed and also in the read, but they were not at the end of the read there with everything else. And they could be the parents of one or the other, the masculine or the karmic. The Queen of Swords reversed could have exposed the Queen of Cups reversed. The King of Cups could be Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, Aries, imbalanced or in debt, offering a piece of himself to everyone, always a new opportunity but doesn't follow through. The King of Cups reversed could be Aquarius, Emperor, father or father-in-law, and the Queen of Cups reversed can be the feminine, but also it can be a karmic, but also can be a mother or mother-in-law, or someone who needs rehab or facility. Let's see here. So rising up to the 5D truth, the Queen of Cups twin works on love. The challenge being karmic, risky downloads and guidance of the higher self. The Queen of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, finding peace with King of Wands shaman. The Queen of Swords exposes King of Cups reversed, imbalanced, opportunist perhaps, possibly someone paying for sex. Others in family feeling shame and coming clean, reaping rewards of purging it out. In downturn and retrogrades, Leo, Scorpio could be the one paying for sex. And then I was getting and Cancer, Sagittarius, Libra giving sex for money. So obviously that's not for everyone, but there could be a few people doing that. Knight of Cups offering love without feelings. Tried hard with a third party to come clean without saying too much. And then retiring to purge in a downturn. So business may not be good too, but it could just be a downturn of energies. The Queen of Swords reversed, not talking about their feelings. The Queen of Pentacles on top of her, on top of the Queen of Swords, but she's upright, starting over at home, giving attention to heartbreak, and transmuting those stuck emotions of the Queen of Wands shaman, dealing with the Queen of Wands reversed, in between battles with the King of Pentacles reversed, offering love to the Fool, but the Leo ends up coming out on top. So you can see there's a lot of people here, so take what you can and leave the rest. The King of Pentacles wants freedom. The Queen of Wands reversed wants to give love. Both want to be king of the hill. So that could be a dynamic in one of the relationships for you. Okay. So it could be that the King of Pentacles wants to be free and she wants to give him love. So they both want to be king of the hill and be right all the time. So obviously that's not going to ultimately work out. So that could be a karmic relationship. So rising to work out details and start over. 5D messages of love with higher self, challenged by the karmic and judgment. The Queen of Cups passes downloads to those mourning their twins. Twins choose commitment to self. to close the gap between the divine feminine and masculine. The 3D self, the 4D self, and the 5D self, the shaman. All right, so that was the first read. So now I'm going to do the second read, and I'm going to show you that one. So I just have to turn the camera a little bit. So let's see how we go here. Try to get as much as I can of it in for you. Let's see if I can get a little better than that. Okay. All right, so this is the second read that was done at 4:40. I ended it at 4:44 to 4:49 actually. 44 is that 4 of Cups, which is mastering, grounding, and integrating, and 49 being the Get Your Wish card, the 9 of Cups, and it was just 45:54 on the clock, and that's the 5 of Cups, and the 40 and 54 is the Page of Swords, so messages. The second read here. The major arcana were the solar deity and reflection, which is the sun and the hermit. That was it. Okay. So sun is, you know, major energy, masculine energy. It's happiness. It's exposing everything. And the reflection of the hermit is kind of the opposite, right? It's going within, staying inside. So the opposite energies here of the sun and the hermit, the reflection, going inside as opposed to exposing without. There were 4 swords, 3 pentacles, and 2 wands in this read. And the court cards were the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. So in the main read, it's just those 2 knights, the Knight of Swords, Knight of Pentacles. Before the read was also the Knight of Wands and the King of Swords, and after the read, the King of Cups. So all masculine energy, but 3 knights came up. And 2 nights, and that comes 2 to 3 nights comes up to the eclipse, the 16th to the 17th, so that's important here. And then 2 kings as well. The numbers and the code line were all about compassion and karmic completion, but it was funny because the C's were covered in compassion and completion, so it was for both it was Om passion and Om pletion. So that was definitely coming up. The code line and numbers about compassion and karmic completion, the numbers were 6, 4, and 10, as well as 22, 44, the sequence 8, 9, 10, as well as 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 24 is the Queen of Wands, 23 is the King of Wands, 34 is the 8 of Wands, 45, which just came up with the counter, the 5 of Cups, the grief, 56, the 2 of Swords, 68, the Page of Pentacles, and then the sequence 432. And about the compassion and karmic completion, the message was about the masculine kind of saying, you know, add 6 mothers and then bridge. See how good you do with bridging that. Like, you know, having 6 mothers telling you what to do. So lots of feminine energies around them. But the good vibrations. Keep those good vibrations for compassion and karmic completion. And also 4 of the Emperor comes up. After death, the gateway, an aiding part-time reflection within for the Emperor to support the masculine. The end of the karma, the 24, the Queen of Wands. Sigma came up, as well as the Sophia 9, the mother gateway. So the mother load comes up again. So that can have something to do with this eclipse here. Also with Lionsgate in August. So the night reflection was coming up here. So taking time at night to reflect and go within, and to help connect, you know, to the masculine, to support the masculine. Also, after the death, a masculine may have lost his mother recently, or a lover's mother. So it could be the karmic's mother or the feminine's mother. But bridging 8 nights also comes up of reflection. So lots of time going within, meditating between the Hermit and the Emperor, which is referencing the feminine and the masculine. Also Leo Virgo coming up. and the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles, reflecting as the masculine and the feminine. Also can have to do with the karmic and the feminine, as the Leo and the Virgo and the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. And also maybe someone wanting their twin to meet their parent before they pass away. I know I felt that way about when my father died. I was hoping my twin would actually have spent time with me before that time, but that never happened, so I was kind of sad about that. I actually saw, after my father passed away, the first thing I saw with my father had to do with my twin. They were talking about, you know, new discoveries and research with each other, and they got into a little roller coaster car, and just, it was really cute. I don't want to tell you about the whole thing, but they got into the roller coaster car and just, you know, rolled away like Mr. Magoo, just talking about their new inventions. So purging the Knight of Wands, twins, the King of Swords, so the masculine and the feminine, dumping attachments, feeling hopeless, that everything I do is for nothing, stressed, crying, feeling through the pain, Ma, and 8 steps, so the mother comes up here again. The 8 steps, or in other words, the Leo, the infinity, the dance within of masculine and feminine, supporting the King of Swords while purging. So again, supporting the feminine, do a lot of going within, meditating to help support the masculine get through this last bit of it that he's going through. I was definitely feeling some purging today. I definitely had a few tears today come up randomly. So just know that you know, the closer you are to union, the more dark interference there is. So all they have to do is just put a thought in your head to make you upset, to bring your energy down. So just know that it could be just dark energies challenging you and not letting them go there. So the Fool, with heart opened wide, to a horse with no name, a head with a mask on it, or a lowball offer, unable to get out of the gate. And number 26 came up, which is the Page of Wands, came up twice on this first page separately. So very much about that inspired energy and wanting to get going. But in the lowball offer, I was definitely getting the masculine, you know, trying one more time with the karmic, unable to get them out of the gate. But it also can be with the masculine being afraid to come out of the gate, or maybe struggling even sexually, worrying about the sexual energy and performance and all that kind of stuff. So you know how people feel when they get together on a date for the first time. And this is, you know, tenfold, right, with all the history. So the Hermit sheds light on passionate growth, or sealed divine feminine, with 2 sticks of DNA, 1 in each hand, marching to the beat of her own drum. The bull and lions, the bull and lions dismay, who are, because she's sealed, they're trapped outside. The tail end, the coccyx bone came up, worried he won't be able to perform. If you don't, and it's like the divine feminine saying, if you don't come now, I'm jumping off a ski jump without snow on it. It's a long way down, so I hope you come before that. No pun intended. I'm wrapped up in a bow, but it's very painful without you. A passion to get you to wrap things up. The cycle's ending, and I'll love you forever. I can't live without you. It's just too much. The divine feminine surrounded by a lot of bull, all masculine. The wounded warrior, out and unstable, moving, leaving marriage, in need of attention. The Page of Swords spreading the word. No putting on the brakes now. Keeping it under the radar until now. And number 26 came up again here. It is safe to love, and underneath that for the masculine was true love. This is a romance of a lifetime. 2 14s came up, which are 2 angels, and then they add up to 28 of the twins. At the gate, waiting for the divine masculine, tweets and dessert, scrolls and wind veins, walking the plank, getting in under the wire, like, you know, running through the gate right before it closes. The harsh truth is out. The divine feminine waiting at the gate, guiding others, a big love, work connection, but imbalanced feminine or female Sagittarius, alcoholic or potion maker, white kiss hook. Logs are exposed by making moves on him, distractions so he doesn't know who did it. Sagittarian earth sign, lying the whole time, half-eaten apples put back together, knives left out and stepping on heart, suspicious activities, and the masculine too quick to forgive someone. As I turn the page, it is 539. 5 is expansion, the Hierophant. It's also 39, the Knight of Cups. So there's someone here definitely who's done something wrong, distracting him every time he sees a clue that she's been sneaky and spying, drinking, or putting something in his drink. So the Rophies comes up again. And then I was getting, when a man loves a woman. Okay, so that song was coming up, so you might want to read the lyrics. But some of them are, and that's Percy Sledge, can't keep his mind on nothing else. He changed the world for the good thing he's found. If she's bad, he can't see it. She can do no wrong. Turn his back on his best friend if he put her down. He'll spend his very last dime trying to hold on to what he needs. He'd give up all his comforts and sleep out in the rain if she said that's the way it ought to be. And that when I was writing this stuff, I actually started tearing up because it made me feel like he was, that he was talking about the karmic, not the feminine. Because if she's playing him for a fool, he's the last one to know. So it made me kind of sad, feeling like if he really loves the karmic that much, then, why am I even here? So I was getting a little bit sad about that, but it is what it is. You guys know how it is. Spiritual partnership comes up as number 27. 27 is the Ace of Wands again, and then beneath that is surrender. And just to go back to what I was just saying, don't forget, you guys, you know the truth. You feel him. You know what he has said to you about his karmic. So don't believe everything that your mind brings up for you. Remember what you feel. That's the whole point of the internal connection. Spiritual partnership came up with that 27, and beneath it was surrender, 91. Leaving work to take the right path, where the antelope roam, the Hierophant, the cowboys, horny devils and red eyes, rubies, rupees, rubles, all about money. Opposite of Pope is the hermit over isolating, mental illness, not getting along at work, third party, or quitting for something else. Taurus and Capricorn, religion and the devil, playing and the hermit reversed, the sunshine reversed, Virgo and Leo. Dallas, shadow ship in port, the other beach. Looking back, going back to where the ship sank. No more cheerleaders. The sun has fallen from the sky, Chicken Little with white bird and red eyes. Saturn, Aquarius, Jupiter, Cancer, or whole new life in Aquarius approaches. Saturn, Jupiter conjunction. Counterintuitive, as the sun knocked out of the sky. Don't believe what you see. Don't get burned by manipulation, nice abs, and fiery demeanor. Chinese, chopsticks, grass, Viking ship, cruise, deserted island, China, Thailand, Hawaii. The hula also came up. Indonesia temptations. Too hot to handle, as the planet's alignment is not quite right. So it's coming up with this eclipse, right? This is the lunar eclipse, so things kind of get messy here. Watch out for the karmic ploys, both the divine masculines and the divine feminines. Your karmics may show up. This could be dark manipulations. No fear, but be true to your authentic self, love and truth. Don't say yes to what doesn't really feel good to you or isn't really what your dream is. There could be a leader, a devil in disguise, who's right wing, who's an ill man, convincing you to take a different path from the one that you are authentic with or love. Going back to the old work, draining and stressful, is that something you really want to do? Or an ex-karmic, devil incarnate, will you choose him or you? Or is he offering you something authentic to you both, which is fine. It's not about fear, it's about, don't forget to be present and feel what you're feeling and not going into your headspace and just react the same old way you always used to. There is no wrong choice. It's always up to you. Drained and purging, divine feminine message while Sagittarius female pours a drink. Watch it, there's no roofie in it. Spiritual partnership. Recently, and as I go into recently, I'm going to show you the read first, and then I'll get back into that. And the roofie, I mean, roofie never comes up for me. It's come up like 3 days in a row, at least. So it's important out there that somebody be careful, okay? So for this read, we had the 8 and 9 of orbs, both of them came up together here, and the underlying energies there. The recent past was the 3 of swords there, kind of buried, and that was the 8 of swords, or the 8 of orbs. The center of the read is the sun. You can see that orange in the middle is just the sun, the solar deity. The challenge being the reflection of the hermit. And then we have the other underlying energies here. And then the crowning card is the Knight of Orbs, or the Knight of Swords. And then bridging across. Okay, and coming down to the near future is the 4 of Crystals, or 4 of Pentacles, which is like the divine masculine's heart, the bat cave. And how he sees himself is the Knight of Pentacles. And you see that proposal. Okay, we have the romance angel cards over here, and then around the masculine is the 5 of flames, or wands. The challenge for him, or the blocks he needs to clear, is the 10 of flames, or the 10 of wands. And then as we come up here with the numerology cards, and then the end of the read with the 2 of crystals, or pentacles, which is a surrender in this deck. We have the King of Cups, the 2 of orbs, or swords, and then the 4 of flames, the 4 of wands card at the end there, and then the clarifiers there, okay? So we're going to come back on here with a little bit different angle so you can see the rest of the read. Let's see what we got here. All right, so recently for the masculine, separation of the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. All right, they both came up together with the war between them ending, but it was like they're laying down their swords for a party or a gathering. So some kind of family thing probably, or a work thing, whatever it is. They're laying down their differences for that, but there's definitely a separation underneath them. The King of Cups may be shaming the divine masculine for accepting an offer from a group or socialites or partiers, an offer of something like money or things like that he shouldn't have, or something at work, you know, offering, accepting gifts at work, that kind of thing. So it could be the King of Cups could be a partner or a father, father-in-law. And I turn the page at 6:14. 6 is the lovers, 14 is the angels, the temperance card, patience. So he may have gotten schooled by someone for doing something like that, or allowing employees to buy you drinks at happy hour. Queen of Wands may want you to think all is cool so she can catch you vulnerable. Watch out. If they're not trustworthy, don't trust them. Do what's good for you, especially if it feels bad or off or you're unsure. And watch out for those roofies. Don't let anyone mix your drinks. The foundation here is anxiety and escaping the sham fam, making it out of there while they're distracted. Centrally for the masculine, exposing the King of Pentacles, or the King of Pentacles exposing insincerity in someone else and lack of faith. The King of Pentacles may be jealous. Watch out, you don't get pushed off a cliff. Leo and Aries comes up there. Dark energies around the twins trying to trip you up just before you get in. Jealous Leo trying to trip up the King of Pentacles could have Virgo or Aries in their chart. The challenge being the Hermit reflection, the Emperor, and the Hermit reversed, third party, gossip, or overindulgences. The Wounded Warrior, King of Wands, Emperor, who could be Aries as well, could be a King of Wands Aries, and Loving Twin, Hermit reversed or Virgo. So they're coming up together here as the King of Wands Emperor, and then the Hermit Loving Twin was also coming up, which could be a Virgo as well, out for a drink or two, or 3 or 4. So be careful about that. If it's not a roofie, it could just be you getting out of control, drinking too much with your twin, and then not able to control your decisions, okay? The Queen of Cups reversed, healing third-party situation. With Justice, Libra, could be parents interfering. Could be just purging or crying. Over the Queen of Swords, impatient, getting over loss of justice and or Libra, or a court case, whatever it is. Now is the Knight of Swords, the messenger of truth, the 5D messages, healing insecurities, manipulations, leading the way out of unhappy family who's been depressed and draining, to get clarity, release, and understanding. Awaking to the importance of the feet is coming up here, to ego, jealousy, and the aftermath of the Queen of Swords twin grieving, dumped and purging, feeling overwhelmed. The Queen of Pentacles reversed, ungrounded, impatient, with King of Wands, avoidance tactics, hanging on to difficult emotions, a security blanket of sorts, of a long relationship, now in separation and or divorce. Pisces, Cancer, and Libra came up here. Soon for the masculine is the Divine Masculine's heart, awake to third party through work and strategizing in the bat cave, how to share or make up for not releasing until now, in a bold move to escape another year of this before Lionsgate. He is the Knight of Pentacles, looking or going back to cry or purge, or looking back is overwhelming for him, and Taurus and Pisces come up here. The Empress, unaware, or there's a secret that's out of an offer he's about to make. Retreat came up very soon, and honeymoon for the masculine, and around him, or how he is seen, is conflict, games, happiness of getting his wish, and detoxing, burning off the last of it to make sure it's gone for destinies. That could be someone, working out, wanting to make sure to get rid of the last of the fat. It could be radiation or chemo, wanting to give it one last hit to make sure it's gone. There could be all sorts of situations there. But Capricorn and Libra come up here. Clear blocks of dropping their burdens, confessions, coming out of the dark. The King of Cups reverse, manipulating him into another opportunity because he's an opportunist and knows he can get the masculine to do a lot of work for him and not give him what he's worth. He is coming up as imbalanced, this King of Cups, so watch out for him. And it could be a father or father-in-law. Karmic completion, compassion, and even more so teaching and learning. Cancer, Chariot, and Queen of Wands with a flame between, a bold move to one at a distance, all flames aside, now getting down to business. Turning the page at 6:51, again the 51 comes up, the King of Swords. 6 is the Lovers. Surrender, drop the facade, trip up, break patterns, letting go to repair, and go on a quest to expand. Completing divorce or settlement to work out the last details, align with blocks to clear, hold radiation as well. I'm not hold. So someone might need to hold the radiation because that's not what I meant to say. Align blocks to clear, as well as mold was coming up and radiation as well. The King of Cups reversed may need radiation treatment, which may be draining him, making him tired, but gets over it quickly. Or just drained or sick or uninspired, just getting over loss after avoiding. Getting clear on a decision to move or end marriage with Leo, Taurus, Queen of Pentacles reversed, moving to Queen of Cups reversed. He may now be homeless or without a home and is either moving a Queen of Cups reversed out of his house, or he's moving in with a Queen of Cups reversed. Queen of Swords connection without family. So he could be moving in with a mother as well if it's the Queen of Cups reversed, or the Queen of Swords could be the feminine connection without family, dropping burdens of depression or loss of hope. Now the King of Swords has arrived and on top of his game. Released from prison after purging, the Knight of Pentacles expanding to separate from a Leo, challenged by the Hermit and the Divine Masculine's heart, and coming out of the dungeon into the light with 5D messages, the Knight in Shining Armor, announcements, messenger of truth. That Knight in Shining Armor surrenders, wants clearance to move homes. Purging Knight of Wands, twin and or kids. The King of Swords separates, drained or lovesick, released, exposed, messages of truth. challenged by the Hermit and reflections. The Knight of Pentacles proposes from his heart to expand and come out of the dark, surrender and move. All right, so that was the second read, and that was at 7:03, which is the Chariot and the Empress. Somebody's coming over to see the Empress. All right, guys. I think that was enough. I'm going to get going. It's getting late here. But make sure you drink your water, get plenty of rest. And don't forget, when you don't get enough rest, you're not going to feel good, and you're going to get triggered. You're going to cry more often. It's so important to make sure you get to bed earlier. I'm guilty of that. I stay up too late, but try to go to bed earlier so you get enough sleep so you feel good, and your outlook will be better. And drink plenty of water. Make sure you remember every day, and do something that's joyful to you. And rise and be loved, guys. Have a great day. Bye.